Good evening, distinguished guests, parents, graduating class of 2021 and our newest KICS alumni. Most of you were born when the Machakos Protocol was signed, ending the 19-year-old civil war in Sudan. You wrote most of your IGCSE exams during the revolution of 2019, saw the fall of a decades-old regime, and started your IB diploma as a new government took office. IB exams were written during a pandemic, but today, as you end your school journey, it's not about looking back, it's about looking forward. In the next few days or weeks, friends you have spent all of your schooling with, or just the last 2 years, will be travelling to different parts of the world. As you go forward into this new chapter of your life, remember to be open-minded. There is no easy path. There will be difficulties along the way. Don't worry about them. You have developed the skills to accept them, learn from them, and take risks. As Albert Einstein said, in the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. Life is a continuous learning curve, not a time-limited test. Take your time to work out what you really want. As the recent pandemic has taught us, the world will change in ways you never expect. Don't fight it. Let it help you grow. Take a different direction. Be ready to welcome change. You might not have the answers yet, but if you embrace lifelong learning, you will see a way forward, one which will help the world become a better place. Each and every one of you is unique. Don't let others define you or tell you what to do. Think for yourself. Actively create your own identity. Understand who you truly are. Find your passion. You will all take different paths to reach success. Yes, there will be failures along the way, but see these as learning opportunities. In the words of Winston Churchill, success is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. And finally, be an active participant in life.
Start with the ACER award, and I've got a beautiful plaque here for Sindhu, who is the award winner for the Award for Excellence. This is given by ACER, our association. We are an association member of ACER. ACER is the African International Schools Association. So it encompasses about 90 schools, 90 international schools across Africa. And the citation that Sindhu has this for is as follows. Embraces a worldview which celebrates human unity and diversity, seeks to understand, appreciate and promote African cultures, demonstrates by example the concept of service to the human family, and promotes a school environment that is characterized by a sense of hospitality and friendliness, collegiality and community. Sindhu, please come and collect your award. I actually looked back at some reports that Shaza had written right back on her very first semester of the IB diploma. This is what she said about herself, and I think this is pretty critical, so listen carefully. This semester I feel I have made significant progress with my self-management and communication skills. I feel as though the IBDP's emphasis on self-learning has led to a significant improvement in my self-discipline and ability to hold myself accountable. However, I think I still need to work on my ability to prioritize my work in order to increase my efficiency. These are the words of somebody who's not satisfied with anything but the very best from herself. And I think that characterizes Shazza maybe in a perfect way. That right early on in her diploma, she knew enough about herself as a learner to know where she needed to improve. And my goodness, look at her now. So, Shazza, it gives me great pleasure to present this incredibly heavy award to you, so I hope you're feeling quite strong this morning. And if you come forward and collect your prize, thank you.
It is 2009 and I cannot read very well. I see a girl in my class get assigned a book with entire chapters of writing as I stumble through the few sentences enclosed in mine. I go home and read and read and read, and soon we are assigned the same books. It is 2017 and stoichiometry eludes me. I have a test tomorrow and I keep getting the questions wrong and I am on the verge of giving up. I don't. I pore over my textbooks over and over again, and I hope for the best. 2 years later in 2019, I am in my first IB English lesson. Everyone knows so much more than me. Literary terms fly over my head, and I hadn't realized that it was possible to be behind on the first day of classes. I go home and look through pages and pages of literary devices until I am certain that I can go back into that classroom tomorrow. Life is full of these tiny moments of personal adversity, of these instances when it feels as though everyone is miles ahead of you and you are dealing with struggles that are unique to you and you only. These instances are littered throughout our lives, and they force us to make a choice between taking action, working to overcome this obstacle that only you can really see, or inaction, to do nothing, to let it fester and grow into a real, tangible barrier. I think the latter is rooted in self-doubt, feeding off it and feeding it. That's where I'm lucky, because I'm surrounded by an impenetrable support system that is always working to weed out and quell my doubts, who played an equal, if not larger, role than mine in getting me to this point here today. To my family, friends, and teachers, it is impossible to cover everything all of you do for me in detail how you've each contributed massively to the person I am today, because your collective impact on me is so thorough that it is impossible to separate it from who I perceive myself to be. But I'm going to try. Firstly, my parents, who raised me to value hard work and to take pride in responding to adversity, who taught me that I am lucky to have so much opportunity in a country starved of it, and how terribly wasteful it would be to not put everything I have into realizing it. So much of what I am is a product of your influence, and so much of my success is a product of your love and support. To my family, my mountain of a support system, thank you. Your unwavering belief in me carried me through the past 18 years of my life. No burden is ever too heavy when one's heart feels light, and I was lucky enough to be surrounded by people who always made me laugh, whose delightful company always left me feeling a little lighter in bad times and good. To my teachers, both in Unity and at KICS, my gratitude knows no bounds. Thank you for fueling my passion for learning and making sure I know my stuff, even when my attendance to online classes was subpar at best. Mrs. Rain, thank you for always being there and for putting up with me for these past 2 years, especially during the dark period from August to October in year 13. Miss Nancy, thank you for always making me smile in the mornings and for always making sure we were always stocked up on tea and coffee. And finally, to my classmates, my friends, it is crazy to think that I've only known most of you for less than 2 years, because the treasure trove of memories we've created feels so much bigger than that. I want to thank all of you for making my everyday life happier, funnier, and more fulfilling. Everything from Mulham yelling before going to class, to Tima wheezing in laughter, to Mazin's awe-inspiring ability to just sit there and enjoy himself. Long MUN meetings with Sindhu, Yusuf, and Dana, Ragat sending me posts on Instagram that make me smile throughout the day, Mohammed Saif and his ability to make me laugh or get very angry faster than anyone else, Samar, whose house and companionship have become a home to me over this past year. I cannot see my life without you all. Finally, to my best friend, who held my hand all through secondary school and made my transition to IB much easier. Thank you, Salia, for making sure that I'm still here, still dreaming and inspiring, still silly. Your friendship makes what I'm about to say a lot easier. Thank you, and goodbye to the class of 2021. It was a pleasure and a privilege to spend these past 2 years by your side.
All right, so we get to the exciting moment, and Mrs. Ream will be reading out your names.
So I've been in KICS for 3 years now, and I'm thankful and blessed for all the memories I've created in this school. Now the IB has been filled with ups and downs, but I just want to thank my teachers for being there for me, but also want to apologize for making the 2 years they've had with me difficult. I want to thank my friends, all my friends, for making IB bearable and a good 2 years. And lastly, I want to thank my mom and my dad for dealing with their firstborn child. Yeah, I'm thankful.
My IB journey has been full of ups and downs, but it taught me valuable lessons that will be helpful later in life. I think it prepared me well for the next chapter of my life, and I would like to thank my family and friends for showing me their constant support. And I would like to thank Ms. Silva for making Arabic classes very enjoyable. I've made very memorable and valuable memories here at KICS that I will cherish for the rest of my life.
Beautiful morning, you're the sun of my morning, babe. Nothing in the water. Beautiful morning, you're the sun of my morning, babe. Nothing in the water.
As my IB journey comes to an end, I look back and I notice many changes, not only in me, but also in my peers. This journey has been the most challenging, yet the most rewarding. And as it comes to an end, there are a few people who has made this journey worth the while. Firstly, I would like to thank my parents for being a support system and comforting me, not only in my successes, but also in my failures. Secondly, I would like to thank my friends. Without them, this journey would have been 10 times more hard and 10 times more boring. Last but not least, I would like to especially thank Ms. Reem Agil for being an inspiration to my business journey, and most of all for being a friend. So, fellow graduates, I look forward to seeing what all of you will be doing in the future, and I'm very excited for all of you to be employed by me.
KICS is truly like a second home to me. I've spent 5 years here, which is the longest I've stayed in a single school, and I've managed to form countless lifelong memories and meet people I can confidently call family. KICS has truly shaped who I am as a person and has made me the hardworking, dedicated, risk-taking and determined person I am today. I'd like to thank the teachers who have put so much work and effort into getting us to where we're at today. And I'd also like to thank my parents who have risked so much to get me to this position in the first place.
This past 2 years in KICS, I had the best experience. All I can say is that the community here is great. The first time I came into Sudan, it was life-changing. I had difficulties fitting in, but after the first year, everything was easier because I made new friends. KICS just changed me in general. The school is amazing. The atmosphere is always amazing, and the time when we went to Thailand was my favorite part of the first year I was here. There was so much. I had made connections to a lot of my friends, and I would just like to say that I'm gonna miss this school, and I would like to thank all my teachers that helped me with for everything, for supporting me and for being there, and for offering their helps to me. And I'd also like to thank my parents for their support, and Also the school as a general whole, because I just like it here, and I'm gonna miss it a lot, and yeah.
We alright. Pour some Clico in a glass, have a toast to success. No looking back from here, no more being broke and distressed. I put my heart into this game like I open my chest. We only pray for more M's while you hope for the best. We make these plays, man, I'm finessing these checks. Time's up for everybody, I'm collecting.
I've been here for what feels like the blink of an eye, not even a whole 365 days. But the time that I have spent here has been precious to me, truly. After looking forward to being a senior for all my life, I'm finally here. To Mama and Baba, the ones who got me here, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you to Reem, my soulmate, and Yusna Abdullah, my ride or dies. And thank you to my class, the vibiest group I could have asked for. You guys are what made my time here precious. You welcomed me like I was one of your own, and I love you guys. I wish you the best of luck wherever you go. Peace out.
Over the last 15 years, KICS has been the place that has continued to nurture my identity as a student, a Sudaniya, and a global citizen. Growing up in an international school where teachers and students come and go has its challenges. Yet still, despite this, KICS has always felt like a community, and I have made the fondest of memories and been surrounded by people that continue to inspire me today. As I say my final goodbyes, I would like to extend my thanks to everyone around me. Thank you to the teachers who have been there to support me throughout my school career, to the support staff who are always there to greet us with a smile, and my friends and family. Most importantly, I would like to thank my parents. Thank you for all the love and support that you continue to give me, and I hope that I have and will continue to make you proud.
The words seems to come from the fact that most people don't see. Just cause you woke and I'm not, that shit ain't no reason to talk like you better than me. How you gon' lead when you attacking the very same niggas that really do need the shit that you saying? Instead of conveying you holier, come help us get up to speed. Shit, it's a reason. It took like 200 years for our ancestors just to get free. These shackles be locking the mental way more than the physical. I look at freedom like trees, can't grow for us like overnight. Hit the ghetto and slowly start planting your seeds.
I joined KICS in May 2011. Overall, the experience has been quite amazing. All my friends and families have helped me throughout the way. The school is very helpful. The best thing that I like about KICS is the culture. Many people come from different backgrounds and you get to know people very easily. Ever since I was here, since year 3, everything has been nice. I used to live in the UK, I came in here and there was quite a change. But the school was very friendly and taught me many things. And over the years, I really like what I've learned in KICS and how I've grown to become the person who I am. I would like to thank all my family, friends, and loved ones, all the teachers that helped me to be where I am now, and helped me grow to become the person that I am today.
What's it gonna be? G-Wagon, all depending. The garden, ride the wind. I know if you die or not. Make you no say anything when you do, they must commend it. I can't come and keep myself.
KICS has been my home for almost 15 years now, and thinking back at how far we've come individually and as a class, looking back at the start of the IB, it's been a difficult but exciting journey. Continuing to learn as we face the pandemic through online learning has been by far the toughest time for me physically and psychologically. And I wouldn't have been able to overcome it without the support of my family, friends, and teachers.
Kids is real. We ain't picture perfect, but we worth the picture still. I got smart, I got rich, and I got still. And they all look like my eyebrows, thick as hell. Love yourself, girl, or nobody will. Though you a woman, I don't know how you deal with all the pressure to look impressive and go out in heels. I feel for you, killing yourself to find a man that'll kill for you.
When I came to KICS, I thought it would be very difficult to fit in. However, the community was very, very welcoming. As I look back over these past 2 years and how me and my friends grew older and wiser, I can't help but smile. There are a couple of people I'd like to thank for making this journey a very fulfilling one. Firstly, I want to thank my parents, my mother for always providing me with love and nature, and my father for always being a role model who guided me. Secondly, I want to thank my teachers. the IB coordinator and the college counselors for helping us to navigate our future, and the teachers for providing an active learning environment where we can intellectually thrive. Last but not least, I want to thank my friends for always being there for me and helping me with my studying and providing general good vibes. Fellow graduates, I hope we can meet soon in the future.
These past 3 years at KICS have been some of the best of my life. Whether it was the multiple trips like Thailand and Thailand, or whether it was at school like KICSman and the 24-hour relay. My friends have always been there for me to make them some of the best times of my life. While there definitely have been some bumps along the way, I think they've all helped me grow into the person I am today, the more driven and responsible person. I'd like to thank my teachers for always being there to guide me, and most importantly, interpreting those looks of incredible confusion on my face. And of course, my parents, who've always been there for me and always motivated me to work harder. And as for the future, really I can only wish for one thing. Wherever I go, I hope I can find a community as wonderful and supportive as KICS has been.
'Cause I feel like such an insomniac. Please take me away from here. Why do I tire of counting sheep? Please take me away from here. When I'm far too tired to fall asleep.
I've been at KICS for around 5 to 6 years now. I arrived when I was in the 7th grade, or year 8. Since then, I guess I've grown a lot as a person here at KICS, and it's something I'm grateful for. Thanks to KICS, I've been able to experience a lot, like the arts trip back in year 9, swimming in Dubai since year 8, track and field in Jordan, and in Thailand. And honestly, if I had the chance to do it all again, I actually would. I would thank my mom, but when she watches this, she'd probably tell me that I shouldn't have thanked her, so I won't thank her. I'd like to thank my teachers, my dad included, and I know I wasn't the best student, but I did try my best to be a fun one. I would like to thank Miss Mayan. I think she got tired of seeing me every week in her office for the last few years. So yeah, thank you, Miss. And I guess my time at KICS has been one hell of a roller coaster. Lots of downs, a few ups here and there, and overall, I think I'm happy and proud to have gone through KICS.
Will we ever feel young again? Will we ever feel young again? We wanna feel young. We wanna feel young again.
The last 15 years of attending KICS has been an amazing experience. I remember back in year 3 thinking back, May 2021 is so far away, and that I have a long journey ahead, and suddenly I'm in year 13, graduating from KICS and moving on to university, trying to understand where the time has gone. After graduation, I'll be continuing my studies in business in the US, inshallah, and will hopefully come back to Sudan and work in the family company to pursue my grandfather's legacy. After 15 years, I'd like to thank my friends and classmates for making school enjoyable, from traveling around the world to playing whist in the IB Center and constantly making me laugh. I'd also like to thank my teachers in constantly supporting me and wouldn't be able to get through the IB without them. And finally, I'd like to thank Ummi Wabwe for everything they've done by showing endless support in my academic career and beyond. I will cherish all the memories I have made over the years and will always see KICS as my forever home.
Somebody needs somebody. My body needs somebody. I'm a word let me give you butterfly. Say now you they mesmerize me. I'm out to show to civilize.
Being at KICS has been the journey of a lifetime through all the multiple experiences, from band practice on Saturdays to MUN to the many inter-house basketball activities full of fierce competition. which helped me form multiple friendships and bonds that I believe will last for a lifetime. I really want to thank my teachers for being just as dedicated when online learning started through our way through the IB program, always being available for questions and further help on assignments. I also want to thank my parents. Mama, thank you so much for taking me to tutors at night when you were so tired and waiting for me, taking me to my friends' houses, and Baba for instilling in me very important values such as responsibility, confidence, and helping me with my assignments and giving me the opportunity I've gotten to go to on my many school trips.
I had me a famous thing, goals and things, gains and things. My house party, a babe station. Girls wanna chase, it's a status thing. If you send me the location, then I'll be right there. I make her come check you, my baby. No time, no. And my dog is on probation.
The past 6 years that I've spent in KICS, I've made a lot of memories, made new friends, met a lot of new people that I will never forget. But these past 2 years have been very challenging. But I'd like to thank all of my teachers and friends for supporting me through these past 2 years. I would especially like to thank Miss Linda and Mrs. Reem for their support through all my challenges. I'd also like to thank my parents, my mom and my dad. Although I've made them go through a very hard time with me with all the behavior notes and missing assignments, but they've always stuck by me and supported me through everything. So I'd like to thank them for all their help and hard work and patience with me. I also like to thank all my friends and classmates for always being there for me, always making me laugh and making my day better. Without them, the school would have been.
Put my kicks up on they desk, unaffected by they threats. Then get busy on they ass. See, that's how that Chateau made me. That's how my daddy raised me. That glittering may not be gold, don't let nobody play me. If you are my homeboy, you never have to pay me. Go and put your hands up. In times it's how you stand up. LUP the man, cause a brand that the fans trust.
As I write the speech, I recall all the amazing memories I made within KICS fondly. Whether it's touring The Hague with friends, the occasional all-nighters as we study for a physics test, Mubarak's iconic Shai, or even the after-school Dukan drives with all my friends. KICS has fostered a community which encourages lifelong friendships and everlasting memories that will forever be engraved within my heart. Most of these memories I made with my friends, who I am eternally grateful to have met and will continue to value as I go through my life and beyond. Moreover, and most of all, I would like to thank my parents. My mother for being my #1 supporter and for always pushing me to excel, as well as my father, who is my biggest role model and inspiration now and forever. While my journey at KICS has definitely been short, it is filled with memories that I will carry all my life, and the values I gained within them will remain with me indefinitely.
She like the way that I dance, she like the way that I move, she like the way that I rock, she like the way that I woo, and she let it clap for a nigga, she let it clap for a nigga, and she throw it back for a nigga. Yeah, she throw it back for a nigga. Michael Mary. Billie Jean.
The past 2 years in KICS were one of the most challenging yet fulfilling experiences. I went through various phases that helped me grow into the person I am today, especially transitioning in and out of online learning. While it was very demanding, the skills I gained from it, such as perseverance and adaptability, will stay with me for life. Most importantly, if not for my parents' sacrifices, I wouldn't be standing where I am right now within the vibrant KICS community. So I am eternally grateful for all their support. And lastly, I would like to thank Ms. Selwa, and I would also like to thank the boys.
Me, I no get time, I did da. Dada cover my face, calling me la ba da. Biggie man, we know they wear a ba da. Tell me, my nigga, what's it?
These past 2 years have been one of my most challenging yet most rewarding experiences I've had. I'd like to thank my teachers for helping me throughout this journey and never giving up on me. I'd also like to thank my friends and fellow graduates for welcoming me with open arms. Lastly, and most importantly, I'd like to thank my parents, my mother for always being there for me and being my #1 supporter, and I'd like to thank my father for being my inspiration and my role model throughout these 2 years. My IB journey has been an extremely challenging ride that I wouldn't have been able to do without everyone's help and everyone's support. Thank you very much.
I had a rough past, feel like I grew up fast. Go to war by my dog. You're the ones who pick me up whenever I fall. All the pain I endure just a ball. I get this shit away to be with y'all. Standing with you throwing gang signs, do it matter? When them bullets start flying, half from scatter. He ain't had no business in that car, now he ready to
As my time in KICS comes to a close, I reflect back on my legacy and the multitude of ways in which this community has shaped my character. I'm a more knowledgeable and independent person because of the academics, more open-minded and inclusive because of the diverse student body, and most importantly, more resilient because of the unique circumstances that our class has faced the last 4 years. For this, I have my wonderful KICS community to thank. My subject teachers who have been very patient, the support staff who have been the backbone of our campus, Mr. Mino, Fadl Adam, and so many more. The opportunities that I'm given are directly derivative of the sacrifices that my parents have made, and so to them, I experience my immeasurable gratefulness and appreciation. Finally, I'd like to thank my friends who have taught me what it means to love and how to be loved. I look forward to seeing what we achieve in the future and wish everyone nothing but success and happiness.
And all I ever needed was somebody with some reason who can keep me sane. Ever since I can remember, I've been keeping it together, but I'm feeling strange. Get away when it ain't really safe and it don't seem right. But what's new, you get used to the boost.
From crush to year 13, I'm so blessed for all the opportunities that KICS has given me. From spinning people off the tornado, to track and field trips, to even going to a summer course at Yale, I will forever cherish those memories. I'm gonna miss my friends who stayed up with me till 5 a.m. to finish my assignments during quarantine, but I'm most grateful for my strongest support system, my family. Thank you to Ubaida and Selena. I love you both. But to Mama and Baba, قلتولي شدي حالك وشوفتوني شلون أعيش حياة ضغط. فشكرا وأحبكم.
Sometimes I don't think we really say enough. Why is it so hard to keep in touch when we're laying right next to each other, baby?
Studying at the same school for 10 years, it was quite difficult at first to accept the fact that I was moving to KICS. However, the fact that I started KICS knowing several students from my previous school allowed for a smooth transition to my new environment. During the trip to Thailand, I felt I finally connected with the rest of the group, and that transition finally felt complete. Throughout the rest of my IB and KICS journey, I felt I connected very well with my peers. The IB had both an effect both on my mental and physical health, and I wouldn't have been able to get through it without my friends. Special appreciation has to go to my teachers who have gone and worked so hard to help me push through these tough times. Moreover, I would like to thank my parents who have made it possible for me and have supported me throughout my school career.
My past 2 years at KICS have been a whirlwind of good and bad times. However, things like the IA, uni applications, and online learning have been completely overshadowed by the constant love and laughter that my friends surrounded me with. The support of my parents carried me through the IB, and my teachers were always there to guide me. I would not have been who I am today without the influence of my friends, the love of my parents, the delightful company of my siblings, and the help of my teachers here at KICS.
Third form, me say me try a thing, and you know it formed out to be a fire thing. Now up on stage with chronic, say I sing, yeah, see me all diggy soon, get the higher ring like hello, brother. You say I just shot ya, saw your poster, spectacular.
These 2 years have been an emotional roller coaster. But I know when I leave, I'm going to remember all the events that brought me happiness and excitement, and I would look back at the events that brought me struggle and disappointment and think of how they built me to be the person I am today. I would like to thank my peers, my teachers, and my college counselors for walking me through these 2 years, and I know I couldn't do it without them. And I would like to wish them a life full of success, happiness, contentment, and health and grind. And last but not least, I would like to thank my parents, my sisters, and my brother for making sure that I make it out successful, and I love them for it so much.
The most remarkable thing about KICS, I believe, is how easy it is to make a home out of it. I think a lot of that comes down to the people. Over the past 2 years, I've learned a lot about the value of friendship, about having a hand to hold in times of adversity as I navigated the IB during a global pandemic. Looking back at what were undoubtedly the hardest 2 years of my life, all I can remember is laughter under the gazebo and drinking tea together during our free periods. All I can remember is sitting in a balcony in Garden City with my best friends and imagining what our lives would be in 1 or 2 or 10 years, and hours later realizing that it never once crossed my mind that they wouldn't be there for it. I think that the most remarkable thing about KICS is the people that it's allowed me to surround myself with and the friends that I've made along the way.
As the shore washes out, keep your eyes wide open. Even when the sun is blazing, the moon controls the tide. It could cause you to drown. Everything stays right where you left it. Everything stays.
I first joined KICS in year 2, and after 12 years of successes, struggles, and new lessons, I still come back to familiar faces and a supportive community every school morning. I still remember stepping into the infant section and waving to Mr. Hussein every day, whom to this day never fails to greet me. My experiences as a KICS student and as a global citizen have enabled me to become the person I am today. And for that, I have my parents to thank. Amma, Nana, I cannot imagine a dimension of my reality without your love, your support, and your constant encouragement. I would also like to thank my friends who have stuck by my side all of these years and who have shared my happiness and my sadness. I will miss my second home and the people who made it. I wish you all nothing but prosperity and success.
Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. The river running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on a tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.
So as I look back on these past 17 years of my life, I understand that KICS has been a huge part of that life. I mean, I still remember the days in little KICS, year 1, year 2, up until year 13, and they were some of the best days of my life. In fact, the best memories of my life have been at the school, traveling with my friends to track and field trips, swimming trips, Thailand, Thailand. I really cherish this school. I feel like it's my second home, and the best memories of my life have been here. And for that, I feel eternally grateful to the founders of this school, all the teachers who've made this experience possible, and definitely to my friends for making all those experiences even better. I'd also really like to thank my family for putting me in this school, putting up with all of the problems I've caused and the trouble I've made both at home and at school. I really appreciate all you guys have done. Thank you. I mean, the journey's coming to an end, and hopefully we look forward to the future, and we look back on KICS and have fond recollections and fond memories of it.
Short fat guy stretch a band between his toes. Hey, I laughed so hard 'cause the band got down when it finally reached his nose. Hey, y'all, prepare yourself for the rubber band. You never heard a sound like the
After 10 years, as my journey at KICS comes to an end, I look back at having the chance to grow up in such an impactful community. From jungle shenanigans to the numerous hours of playing whist in the IB Center in year 12, the memories that I've made here are ones that I will cherish forever. Although I had to undergo a number of harsh and unique circumstances in the last few years, it has been challenging, but it has shaped me into a more evolved person. And so, I'd like to thank the people who have made this such an unforgettable journey. To my teachers for believing in me, even when I didn't. To my siblings for guiding me in the right direction and allowing me to be my best. To my parents for your continued encouragement. You are my backbone and I love you. And lastly, to my friends for standing by me through all the hardships that we've had to undergo together. I'm so incredibly proud of all of us, and I'm so excited to see where this next chapter of our life will take us.
I've been feeling what it, I say the things where they kill me what it, be the things she they do me what it, yeah. I just want to love you, girl, give you all, give you my world. I say be you I want to, be you I love, oh my girl. So make I be your commando, come make I be your commando. I could fight for you.
My move to Sudan was abrupt, to say the least. I remember when I was like 3/4 away in IGs and I just had to move, but even despite that, just moving in November in 2018, I was able to integrate into Sudan very nicely, and that's because of KICS. The environment is very friendly and I've made a lot of friends here, and just in general it's a very pleasant learning environment, and it's been a wonderful experience to be here at KICS. I just have to thank all of my teachers. I want to thank my parents for putting up with me this long, and I especially want to thank my homeroom teacher, Miss Marie, for being incredibly patient with me, whether it's anything homeroom related or French. And yeah, it's just been a wonderful experience here at KICS. And I wouldn't give it up for the world.
Make your work in my own power. And now that you've seen it, you're afraid. Because you know that I'm going to destroy you.
Years ago, I walked through the large gates of this school to join this warm and close-knit community. 11 years is a long time. Yet many of my fellow graduates had the opportunity of joining this community 15 years ago. In our journey at KICS, we've grown up alongside the school. This school promotes diversity and international awareness. And with a student body so intensely diverse, with over 40 unique nationalities, we've seen it all. A beautiful aspect in this community is the way it has embraced the Sudanese culture. As a Sudanese in an international school, this has had a grave impact on my upbringing within the school. Sudan Week, the Taib Saleh competition, and the Arabic evenings are all important traditions that have furthered this impact. Being a KICS student bears a large responsibility. We carry around the mission to act creatively, positively, and responsibly in a changing world, yet we use the term so lightly. In my experience of being a KICS student, I have learned to embrace my differences, challenge myself, and take every opportunity I'm presented with. To me, being a KICS student means being an open-minded, unique, social, and intellectual individual. It means capturing and embodying every aspect of the IB learner portfolios that have been engraved into our youthful brains. As our journey comes to an end, we look back at the memories we've accumulated in our time at KICS. KICS taught us to be inquisitive, curious people, to push ourselves, to take risks, and not be afraid of failure. It has stimulated our creative side through art classes, Mr. Bob's radio shows, and passion for music, and the numerous drama productions. It fostered our love for sports through inter-house basketball and football competitions, swimming galas, international track and field competitions, and even the dreaded cross-country. KICS never failed to make academics enjoyable and has instilled in us a love for learning. While maintaining a high academic standard, this school continues to promote a well-rounded educational experience. It has allowed us to engage in once-in-a-lifetime opportunities, from ODE trips to Escape, the ski trip, art trips to Europe, Thailand, and of course, Thailand. We've gathered unforgettable memories that have shaped us for who we are today. I'm sure my fellow graduates and I will continue to laugh at the memories of the junior jungle, playing foursquare, and falling off the tornado, and all the other incredible moments we've lived together. Although our journey as the class of 2021 began at different times, some 15 and others only 2 years, it has left a mark on us all. Though these years have been anything but easy, I'm sad to see them end. KICS holds some of my best memories and with some of the best people that I've ever met. And so I'm determined to ensure that this is not goodbye, because KICS and the class of 2021 will always be home to me.
And now we're going to do a big class photo.
Members of the board, parents, teachers, esteemed guests and fellow graduates. On behalf of the class of 2021, I would firstly like to thank you all for joining us in this evening to celebrate our journey to success in which you all played an instrumental role in.
The past 2 years have most certainly been the most strenuous, yet rewarding years of our lives. We were challenged physically, mentally, academically, and emotionally. However, we all persisted and strived for success. Despite the obstacles, the IB has taught us how to become change-making individuals in an ever-changing world.
Year 12 started off perfectly. Our entire class bonded within a matter of days, and the barrier between different schooling backgrounds was almost non-existent. Playing ping pong, pool, and whist in the IB Center, and of course, the Thailand and Thailand trips gave us some of the best experiences of our life. Everything was going perfectly, but then the COVID outbreak happened. In the middle of one of the best years of our lives, which was made so great by the friendships that we made in the IB Center, we were forced to isolate at home and shift to online learning. The next few months were incredibly challenging, but once again, the only thing that kept us sane was ourselves. Staying on calls for hours on end with each other, playing video games online together, and believe it or not, working and studying together was one of the biggest reasons behind our success. And for that, we want to send our most sincere thank yous to the class of 2021.
Firstly, we would also like to thank the Board of Governors for creating and supporting a community that has become a second home for many of us.
We'd also like to thank our principal, Mr. Peter. You have always embraced a student-first philosophy and have always approached us with kindness and humor. As students, we genuinely appreciate this approach, and for that we are very thankful.
We would now like to thank a group of people who have played a crucial role in all of our journeys. To all of our teachers, thank you for helping and guiding us through one of the most academically demanding programs. Thank you for all of the deadline extensions, assignment feedbacks, pep talks, and your efforts and determination to help us achieve our academic goals. Thank you for being our friends in times of need. We owe you a great deal. One of the privileges provided to us as IB students by the school is the IB Center. This building has become our sanctuary in the school, a place where we can be ourselves, create friendships, study, play card games or pool, dance to music, make coffee, and so much more. We would like to thank those without whom the IB Center would not be the same. Miss Nancy and Miss Christine, thank you for being one of the few constants in our high school careers that have experienced so many changes over the last 2 years. Thank you for always correcting us for COVID protocols, for without fail keeping up with absences and latenesses, for always restocking the coffee and tea cabinets, for providing an endless supply of paper cups, and for simply greeting us every morning with a beaming smile, one that we can recognize even with your masks on. For our time in the IB Center, we also have to thank our cleaning staff, whom, without rest, clean up after the mess we make and leave behind a clean learning environment for us to come back to every morning. Furthermore, we would like to thank the security staff of the school, who never fail to greet us every morning, remind us to wash our hands, and allowed us to spend peaceful Saturday mornings at the school participating in activities that we love.
Now there's also a special group of people who would literally not be here without. Our parents. You put us on this planet, and yes, we know you could easily take us out of it, so thanks for not doing that. You've been there through it all for us, and have shown us unconditional love and unwavering support. Without you,
None of this would have been possible, and we mean that in every sense. Thank you very much.
We would also like to thank Mr. Emmanuel, the head of senior section, because for a fact, we know we are not the easiest individuals to deal with. However, you have constantly shown us your support and encouragement, and we hope that we have been good role models for the younger students, ones who you could proudly look at. We would also like to express our gratitude to Miss Linda Round. We could not have survived the IB in these particular circumstances without your support, organization, and encouragement. Thank you for pushing us through our IAs and EEs, for always listening to our side of the story, and for trying to make our IB experience as easy as possible.
And now to the people who made our dreams of attending universities possible. We would like to extend our warmest thanks to Ms. Reem and Ms. Sami. Thank you for always motivating us to keep on track when we were off track, and for patiently and graciously dealing with all of our troubles. You have inspired us to become the best versions of ourselves possible, and have oftentimes made us see more in ourselves than we could have ever done on our own. Thank you very much. On that note, we would like to especially express our gratitude to Ms. Reem Haker. Thank you for being an exceptional MUN director, college counselor, guidance counselor, and above and beyond all, a friend. We could have not made it this far without you. Thank you very much, Ms. Reem.
Lastly, but most importantly, we would like to again thank our classmates. Thank you for being patient with one another, for sharing each other's happiness and sadness, for teaching one another, and tirelessly playing hours of volleyball. For the best Thailand trip, thank you, class of 2021, for being the way you are.
I hope the bonds that we have formed in these past 2 years remain just as strong in the future as they are right now.